Good evening, and today we are going to talk a bit about nepotism. Is nepotism in the workplace such a bad thing? The words of Toni Morrison says, "Everybody gets something handed to them. The rich inherit it. I don't mean just inheritance of money. I mean what people take for granted among the middle and upper class, which is nepotism." Did you know the origin of the term nepotism comes from the Catholic bishop who would bequeath wealth, property, and priesthood to their nephews? The nephews were usually their illegitimate offspring, and it served as a way for the church clergy to both own property and to retain power in their families. What is nepotism? Google defines nepotism as the practice among those with power or influence of favoring relatives or friends. To simply put it, nepotism can be a form of special treatment only available to the few. We all partake in nepotism. Nepotism creeps up in all manners of our everyday life, and the workplace comes as no surprise. Have you been ever asked to get someone a job? To float their resume around? To lobby for someone's brother, sister, cousin? Well, I have. And if you have, then you're guilty of nepotism. Nepotism does not always negatively affect an organization culture. Getting a job through who we know or what we know, we all accept that our personal contacts are a fully legitimate way of opening doors, and that is what social networking is all about. Having someone or something that can give us that boost of having a competitive edge over our competitors is what we desire. There are several benefits of hiring a close relative. How is this, you may ask? Nepotism can indeed create stability, continuity for an organization. A relative that you hire is more likely to be honest, trustworthy, and willing to go the extra mile. Similarly, there will be greater willingness to make sacrifices for the organization. Nepotism has been known to build legacy and networking. A parent works his entire life with a view in mind of entrusting his company to his children. A parent like this will in no doubt see nepotism as a good thing. Nepotism have been known for their legacy. Similarly again, kings handed over their kingdoms to their sons. Popes were succeeded by their most fastidious disciples, and generations of workers derived their last names from the legacy of the family trade. A classical example to strengthen my point would be that of the oil dry company. Nepotism have been one of the biggest culture. Dick Jaffe was chief executive officer until his son took over in 1992, when the company had about 150 million in years of revenue. His son was in no way a questionable choice. However, he didn't know French and he didn't know how to ice skate. What did he do? He learned French and he took up ice hockey. Oil Dry now makes about 240 million a year in revenues, with over 500 of their 700 employees being related in one way or the other. Certainly, there are benefits of having current employees proposing or as part of your recruitment process. Let's take, for example, a sign of someone with initiative, someone who is going to sell your product, someone who is going to achieve your goals. Nepotism practiced well can surely satisfy the profound biological urge to provide for our loved ones and can even be of benefit to society. On the contrary, nepotism can be extremely harmful on employees' morale, resulting in resentment, poor or loss of productivity, weak employees, and lower morale. As HR professionals, we have a responsibility for the preservation of our employees, ensuring their happiness and productivity. The Houston Chronicles noted that employees will react in this inequality in one of two ways. Firstly, they will undermine the favored worker, resorting to backstabbing and sabotage. Or secondly, they will develop an attitude of defeat where they will no longer give their best, as they see their efforts as unrewarded. Nepotism may even bring conflict into the organization by families, which would lead to poor communication and very often are difficult to separate the two. So, in what case is nepotism beneficial? Management Issue conducted a research which identified 7 different types of companies: modern, close-knit, fraternal, just to name a few. They found that in fraternal firms that had an established niche, workers were often hired through word of mouth. The CEO of Wolf Urban Company observed that success of the oil dry company and decided it's proven that nepotism could be an asset rather than a liability. In concluding, it is clear to me that nepotism is not such a bad thing within the workplace, once it is harnessed properly and have some levels of control. Nepotism has been around for centuries and is now becoming more accepted by many companies worldwide. After all, it was practiced by the kings, the Pope, and the members of the clergy. Companies like Oil-Dri have grown successfully with the culture of nepotism. We have learned that nepotism builds legacy and networks and open doors that can create that competitive edge in career building. So I ask this question: if nepotism is not such a bad thing in the workplace, why then such perplexity is generated?